Hey guys, so we're headed into week 5, which is exciting. And the other exciting stuff is going on and is that we are hopefully, fingers crossed, going to start being back in the gym after June 8th. I can't wait. I really miss you guys' faces. So, week 5 mindset. Do you guys remember back when in week 1 when I asked you to set your goal and to really make sure that you had a why attached to it? Did you do it? So week 5 is usually about the time, or a month after, it doesn't even have to be in a challenge, when we start to question why we chose this goal. Maybe you're not as far along and towards your goal as you thought you would be, or maybe life has just been getting in the way. Life is happening and you're really struggling with continuing forward. Like, you're asking yourself, is this fucking worth it? Well, question for you. Are you worth it? Are you? You had better have said, oh, hell yes, because if you didn't, I'm going to come out and find you and I'll slap you. We're all worth it, okay? Yes, it's hard work. Yes, we struggle sometimes. That doesn't diminish the fact that we deserve the goal that we set, okay? And if you are struggling and you're nowhere near reaching that goal, that is okay. Remember, I also said make sure that your goal is flexible. Set that time. Try to adhere to it. But also forgive yourself if you aren't, okay? Life happens. Things happen. You don't reach a goal in a linear path, okay? You don't go from A to B in a straight line. Not if it's any type of goal worth going for. You're going to have setbacks, like we talked about in the previous videos. That's life, okay? Are you worth it? Hell yes. Yes, you are worth it. What made you choose to join the challenge? Oh, obviously there's probably something that you wanted to improve in your life. Other question you can ask yourself is, what's your why? Okay. That why makes a huge difference, okay? If you have no emotion attached to your goal or to your why, then you guys need to go back to week 1 and reset your goal and figure out what your why is. Now, your why is a very personal thing, and it has to have, like I keep saying, some emotion attached to it. I don't care what that is. Well, it should be a positive emotion, hopefully. Okay, just here's an example of why it's important. And think about when you were a child and you walk into your house and your mom is making your favorite food. And the smells, and you can smell it and you can see it, and remember how you felt. And this was when you were a child, and you can feel that. So when you attach an emotion, a feeling to something, a memory or a goal, it is that much stronger, okay? So if you did have an emotion attached to your why and you did feel it, and maybe it's not as strong as it used to be, that's okay too. I would suggest that you go back to week 1 and just maybe pull out that picture from that filing cabinet, take a good look at it, breathe take 3 breaths and blow it into that picture like I had you do in the exercise. and just reattach, connect back to it. Life happens and we can sometimes lose focus from our goal. And really, that is okay. We need to be able to be flexible, like I said. So if you don't have an emotion attached to your why, definitely go back and rethink your why and your goal. If you feel like your why isn't that attachment, that emotion isn't the same, go back. Maybe your goal has changed. You maybe had set a goal at the beginning of this 8-week challenge, and now we're into the 5th week and you're going, that's not really what I want anymore. That's okay, okay? Just go back and rewrite your goal, or rewrite it from this point, and then attach some emotion to it. It's okay for your goals to change a little bit, okay? And it's okay for your why to change. So just remember those things. So how do you tap into your why? How do you keep that why strong? There's a few tips that I do when I feel like I'm starting to really struggle with my why, or I'm forgetting why I started this, especially if you're on a struggle bus. So one way of doing it is you can get a bunch of sticky notes and just write on them, remember your why, and then strategically place them around your house. Bathroom mirror, fridge door, pantry door, where you exercise. Put them in your pants pocket so that when you stick your hand in your pocket, you pull out this note that says, remember your why. So, and here's the other thing, don't just read it. Don't just read the words. Read them and then really tap into that why, okay? So that's one way. Another way is put it in your phone. Make it your screen. Take a picture of that note. And make it your home screen on your phone. If there's a certain time of day that you really struggle, put a reminder in your phone, an alert that goes off at that time that says, remember your why. If the exercising is where you're really struggling, set the alarm on your phone to go off before you exercise to remind you of your why, and after. 30 minutes after you're done, have your phone go off and say, remember your why. These are all ways that can help you remember that why. Another way that I've done that is with COVID now, and we're washing our hands a little bit more, you might have to do this a little bit more often, is I write, remember your why, on my dominant hand. So that every time I use that hand, I see the words, okay? Use permanent ink or permanent marker. If you're no good at writing with your non-dominant hand, get somebody else to write on your dominant hand. You're going to be washing it off a lot, so you're going to have to write it back on, which is another, it anchors you to your why, okay? And that anchor is important. We need to be able to tap into our why when we're in that struggle, okay? We need to have things come up to remind us of why we're doing this. Because it's so easy just to get distracted in life and not even remember at that moment why we wanted that. Right? You get caught up in life or caught up in another emotion that keeps you from moving towards your goal and might even be pulling you backwards. it's always good to have that visual thing to remind you, that little note, the words, what have you, to remind you of your why, to help you tap back into that emotion that pulled you forward. Okay? So this week, let's just check back in. Check back in with our why. Is that emotion still as strong as when we said it in the beginning? So if it isn't, you're going to go back and you're going to tap back into it and really and truly feel how it is that you want to feel at the end of this 8 weeks when you achieve your goal. And if it isn't strong, or if you're struggling, then try using some of my little tricks to help you remember your why. I could go on forever about your why and why it's so important to have that emotion attached to it, to truly want that feeling. So keep on moving. Oh yes. So when you have your emotions invested in your goal, you're more likely to achieve that goal, okay? I want to end with another quote from The Slight Edge. If you haven't read this book, I really recommend it. It's by Jeff Olson. So the quote is, "No matter how good the information is, it won't do you any good unless you have the right catalyst that will let you apply it effectively." So, do you have the right catalyst to propel you to finish this challenge, to achieve your goal, to reach that end? Something to think about, guys. All right, have a good week.